Hello, Miss Kapow.
Hello, Brother Kapow. Today is Freedom Friday, and it's the 18th of March, 2016.
We want to welcome everybody to the Freedom Friday Hour.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about some interesting things. Let me give you a preview.
All right.
Okay? Doomsday madness continues.
Mm-hmm.
Doomsday madness continues. We have a new date.
Oh, pre-tell.
Yeah, there's actually several new dates, but we do have a new date of Doomsday for end of the world. So, you know, I love this stuff because every year, every so often, these nut buckets got to come up with a new
Yeah, they
date.
crunch numbers and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, some are Christian, some are not Christian. There's a lot of allegedly Christian people who come up with this nonsense, and I think they equate the return of Christ with the end of the world, and you know they're going to get raptured while they're driving their John Deere tractor down the road, and then it's going to crash into a barn, and they're going to go to heaven. You know, and then Israel.
I see those stickers.
Yeah, exactly. And then Israel's going to just be down here under tribulation. Why they're in heaven eating matzo balls with Jesus. Then the end of the world and all this nonsense. And they come up with these new dates. So there's a new date by this new Christian cult, I guess. I guess that's what it is. But we'll talk about that. Another very interesting story is Mexico's satanic ritual murders. And this is all Mexico has turned into a den of demons.
Oh, yeah. It's ugly.
It's always been bad over there. It's never been, you know, a good place to be. But it's a den of demons, and the very popular Santa Muerte, the Holy Death cult, is really causing all these people to just get demon possessed.
Yeah.
Of course, all the drug cartels, all the murders and stuff like that. It's a mess there. What we need to do is build a wall, big wall. Keep all the demons and Satanists out. Let's build a wall. Let's make Satan pay for the wall.
Keep the zombies away.
Yeah. Okay. Gene editing. We love following this stuff, don't we, Miss Pow?
Yeah, we do.
We followed it in the past months, past years. We followed DNA, genetic modification. Yes, CRISPR. All that stuff. All these weird scientists that want to live forever and they want to edit the human genome eventually.
And it's also about weapons of warfare.
Yes, it is. The Uber soldier, the Superman. We're going to talk about this and what China is doing, that they're aggressively pursuing this gene editing. And guess who's number 2?
Has to be us.
Yes, the United States. Just running right along. Well, you can see why these Illuminati fools want a certain presidential candidate. They want certain people in power so they can go on with this agenda. You can't have laws here that prevent this kind of stuff. You know, we got to move on, right? Okay, and speaking of gene editing, how many of you listening can go into your cupboard right now and see some
Frito-Lay.
Yeah, Frito-Lay product, PepsiCo product.
Cola. Kellogg's Fruit Loops.
Yeah, we're going to tell you just how bad that is and why it's killing you. And this is not made up stuff. This isn't tinfoil hat conspiratorial writing.
There's science behind it.
Yeah, scientific testing. These foods, they're not even foods. This Monsanto thing, this Monsanto company that's doing the modified corn and the Roundup, they've modified the wheat and the corn where it reproduces its own insecticide within the seed. It can't be washed off or it can't go away. That stuff is used to make your Frito-Lay products.
Right.
You're eating that. It's doing all kinds of crazy stuff with you. You got to know this. Very interesting. And then hang on, because we're going to talk about this debate that went on at Harvard University. And this is going to shock you, what they asked white people to do based on white privilege. It's going to blow your mind. And when you hear this, you're going to realize that you are, in fact, living at the end of time. Forget the doomsday dates. You're already here. We're in the toilet. It's been flushed. We're the poop in the ocean. This species is not long for survival. Seriously. I know it's cyclic. Things go in and up, and, we're really in a down part in history. And a lot of humans are just plain old ignorant.
Yeah.
They've lost their mind, and they're demon-possessed. And Satan is just...
running amok.
He's running amok, but he's so bad at running a kingdom. And plus, he hates humans.
He's totally destroying it.
Yeah, this is
whatever kingdom he has. It's totally being destroyed.
Yeah, this is his little prison planet, and we got to get through that. We got to pass our probation. We got to walk in the Spirit, pass our probation, because this is not our home. This can't be your home. You can't look around and go, "Oh, this is great." If you do. You really have a problem. You need to reassess your biblical Christianity.
That's right.
And I'm not talking pie in the sky. I'm just saying this is not your home.
That's right.
This is not.
You're sojourners here.
Exactly. All right. So are you ready to go, Ms. Kapow, with your scripture? Then
Yes.
we'll go with the first story.
My first scripture is in Deuteronomy 25. It says, "Thou shalt not have any in thy bag divers weights, a great and a small. Thou shalt not have in thine house divers measures, a great and small. But thou shalt have a perfect and just weight, a perfect and just measure shalt thou have, that thy days may be lengthened in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. For all that do such things, and all that do unrighteously, are an abomination unto the Lord God." Then Isaiah 5:20 says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine and men of strength to mingle strong drink, which justify the wicked for a reward and take away righteousness of the righteous from him. Therefore, as the fire devours the stubble and the flame consumes the chaff, so their root shall be as rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust, because they have cast away the law of the Lord of hosts, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel." And then we go to Psalm 101.7 that says, "He that works deceit shall not dwell within my house, and he that tells lies shall not tarry in my sight." And the last one is Proverbs 19:9, which says, "A false witness shall not be unpunished, and that he speaketh lies shall perish."
A lot like what's going on everywhere, not only in politics, but in marketing, advertising, commercialism. It's that unjust scales. It's that manipulation of everything.
As we read these stories, you'll see that a lot of that fits in.
It's just satanic. It's everywhere. It's his little kingdom. It's his little fiefdom here, and it's going to end. Hello, you were just sojourners. We don't belong here, in the sense that we're just passing through, doing what God tells us to do while we're here.
And thank God we have a way of escape through the Lord Jesus.
Amen. Or else it'd be hopeless. I couldn't even talk about this stuff.
Oh no,
I wouldn't be able to talk about it because it's just so bizarre.
I'd be at the casino with rum and Coke.
Rum and Coke. There you go. That's the
only thing I could think of.
The casino. You'll be doing bingo.
Bingo, yes.
Yeah. Like with all the old ladies just yelling. I won $150 last month. This is great. Oh, yeah. They love that stuff here. All right. Before I get started, I want to say hi to John and Janie. Phyllis. Because I haven't seen them in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I miss you guys. I've been kind of crazy busy, but I'm going to slow it down. And I miss you guys. And I want to have some din-din, and I want to talk about this stuff.
Yes.
Because I get enriched.
Yes.
By our relationship.
Amen.
They're the only people that we know that actually listen to us.
No, that's not true. Here in Mesquite, yes.
Well, yeah, that we know. Yeah. That we we know personally. Have dinner with and... okay.
Fellowship.
Yeah. Which is, it's okay. All right.
First story.
Do you remember, Miss Kapow? Do you remember the Mayan calendar ending December 21st, 2012.
Yes, I do.
And the big ramp up to that was it could be the apocalypse and the end of the world and all this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
We did a story on this back then in 2012 on the I don't want to mispronounce this, but is it the Bucharest Mountain? Bugarak Mountain in France. That for some reason, I don't know where they get this. There's a lot of people that believe that the aliens live on Bugarak in France, that they live there, and they have alien babies and alien brides in this mountain and stuff, and that at the end of the world, if you could make it to the mountain, the Bugarak Mountain, then the aliens are going to rapture you, essentially, and save you. Mm-hmm. And then the end of the world was going to happen and big tidal waves were going to happen. But as long as you're on this mountain, you're going to be okay.
Yeah, that's right.
And in 2012, I mean, all these people, hundreds of thousands of nut buckets flocked to this mountain in France. And the mayor of Bugarak was saying, stop, please go away, go home. I mean, they didn't even welcome the tourism,
Because it was crazy.
It was crazy. A lot of these people were just nuts, having a good time, dressed up like aliens and doing weird stuff. But nonetheless, also people flocked to Stonehenge. You remember that?
Yes,
Stonehenge.
I do.
It was huge. People flocked to the Chichen Itza and the Jaguar Temple in Guatemala. The old Mayan temples to wait for that. There was one of these Christian Nephilim skull chaser guys who was trying to raise money. Mm-hmm. You remember that? I'll just say his name, L.A. Marzulli.
Yeah.
Everybody probably familiar with L.A. Marzulli. He likes chasing the Nephis and aliens and stuff. He was trying to raise money back then so that you, the supporters, could cut him a check so that he could go to Chichen Itza, the Mayan calendar, on December 21st, 2012. Why? I don't know. Why would you want to do that?
I know, right?
As a born-again Christian, I have no idea. But that's what he was going to do. And then apparently a few people got to him and said, don't do this because there's going to be a whole lot of evil and really bad stuff there. And so he chickened out. And I don't know if he returned everybody's money or not, but he didn't do it. It was strange. So there was a lot of nut bucket stuff. So, right?
Right.
Well, once that's over, you would think people would go, okay, that's it. Mm-hmm. It's always a new date.
That's right.
And the Christians are just as bad as the non-Christians. They're always coming up with some new date. And this Jonathan Kahn guy, I call him,
Kahn.
Yeah, he's a con.
Con man.
I know. I spell his name C-O-N because he's a con. You know what I mean? It just coming up with these dates, right?
Right.
So the new Doomsday date is, drum roll, please.
Da-da-da-dum. I'll give you that.
Okay. January 1st, 2017.
That's just around the corner.
It's I don't know, 9-10 months away. It's over, folks. It's over.
All right.
And this is the claim by the Sword of God cult. The Sword of God cult.
Wow.
Yeah. Here's what they believe. They will survive, of course, but everyone else
gone.
Perish in hellfire.
Wow.
Yep. Now, there's a couple other forecasters also. Did you know that? Mm-hmm. There's some that predict 2023. Yeah. I've heard 2030 a lot. 2030.
2023, what's that in 7 years?
Yeah. You can't have it too far out.
No.
Or people don't
care.
Forget. They say, well, I'm gone. I'm dead. Who cares? But if you have it just within 5-7 years, that gives you a long time to write books, make DVDs, collect money.
Survivor gear.
Sell Christian bug-out kits.
That's right.
All that stuff. There's another forecast of 4,500 million AD. And once again, that's so far out, I don't think anybody's going to care. The forecast of 23 said that the end of the world was going to happen after the death of the next pope.
Right.
Do you remember Tom Horn and Chris Putnam's book, Petros Romanos, that came out when the new pope was elected? And they did everything in their power to make this guy's name fit Petros Romanos because some crazy Catholic demon-possessed goon named Malachi or Malachi or whatever his name was way back in the 1100s or something, predicted the end of the world will happen and the last pope would be Petro Romanus. So these guys wrote a book. They had the DVD stuff. They were on all the talk shows and everything. Then a new pope came and there he went. Nothing really. And here we are.
Mm-hmm. Okay, silence. And now we're going to get something different.
Yeah. So, it's just kind of one of my pet peeves. I love exposing this stuff because it's just nonsense. And, no one could seem to understand when Jesus said, no one would know the day nor the hour. Not the angels, not even I here on earth would know that right now. Only the Father. But, we just can't accept that.
Mm-mm.
No,
because there's some mathematician out there or some prophet,
yes.
with the insight, with the secret knowledge.
Yes, the gnosis.
Yep.
Okay, so we have a new date, January 1st, 2017. I'm pretty scared. And here's what the Sword of God Brotherhood, here's what they believe. That they believe the prophet Gabriel, not the angel Gabriel, but the prophet Gabriel, so I don't know where they're getting this stuff from, told the Brotherhood that the quote-unquote dying time will come on this date, and only members of the cult will survive, while everyone else perishes in hellfire. Well, I hope they're wrong. I hope they're wrong. What if they're right?
Well, that's not good because it's very inclusive.
Yeah, and it's not fair, and I think it's cult privilege. Mm-hmm. So there you go. Now, some people are concentrating on 2023 right now. They believe Judgment Day will be upon us, according to theologist Ian Gurney. Ian Gurney. Never heard of the guy.
Mm-mm.
But with some luck of the Irish, and yesterday was St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
So this is very, very apropos. With some luck of the Irish, man will be around for a little while longer because the Irish saint Malachi foretold in 1143 AD that there would be 112 more popes before catastrophe.
And we're at 111.
Yeah, 111 or I don't know if this guy is 112 or what. Anyway, because they wrote that book, Petros Romanos. So I thought he was supposed to be the last guy. Who knows? But here we are. And then the one I had mentioned, the 4,500 million AD. Mm-hmm. Here's what they say. The sun is going to swell into a giant star. It's going to engulf Mercury, Venus, Earth, and possibly Mars.
Okay. That's why we're moving to Mars, right?
Yes.
Because there's a chance that we could survive.
Exactly. How did they know this?
The stars.
It's crazy. All right. Was that interesting or what?
That was very interesting.
It was fascinating. What's going on with Mexicans?
What is going on?
We need to build a wall. We need Satan to pay for the wall to keep the demons out of America.
Well, I guess there's so many demons in Mexico that they have to have exorcists.
Yeah.
And exorcisms.
They want the mass exorcism. Again, you remember we talked about this guy. His name is Father Jose Antonio Fortea. Mm-hmm. He likes tortillas.
And he's a leading Mexican exorcist.
Yeah. A Catholic exorcist. To boot. We talked about him not too long ago because he had called for a mass exorcism of Mexico.
That's right.
And now he's doing it again. He says Mexico is being swept by a wave of satanic ritual killings. And exorcists are saying there is unprecedented demand for their services. Mm-hmm. Apparently it's not working. Father Jose Antonio Fortea, a leading Mexican exorcist. He's a leading, all right? Uh-huh. Who once ordered the mass exorcism of the whole country, has warned of an increase in satanic ritual killings. Now, he says that the devil worship stemmed from the so-called cult of Santa Muerta. And you remember, that's that corpse.
Yeah.
Dressed like a bride.
Yes.
That's a skeleton.
Yeah.
But dressed like
and
a bride.
And that people kiss it.
They kiss it. The drug dealers pray to her, worship her. She's a death goddess. That's some crazy people. That's just nuts. Even on a good day, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
This mixing the voodoo and the Santeria and all this stuff together. The name means holy death, and it goes back to the days when to be sacrificed to the Aztec gods was considered the greatest honor.
Wow.
But see, that whole country is based on that. You know, you got the Mayans, the Incas, the Toltecs, the Aztecs. They're all doing human sacrifice there. There's blood everywhere.
That's their cornerstone.
Yeah, exactly. Here's what happened. This young man named Edwin Juarez Palma, he was 24 years old. He was a restaurant worker, but he decided he wanted to join the satanic cult. You know, it's like, hey, I got nothing else to do. I'm going to join the satanic cult. So when he tries to do that, they're going to initiate him into Satan. Well, he's beaten, he's strangled, and then he had his neck slashed with a broken bottle.
Nice.
Yes, by the other members of a vampire cult during a ceremony intended to, guess what, Miss Kapow?
Turn him into a vampire.
How else is he going to become a vampire and live forever unless we kill him now and slit his throat?
To drink his blood?
Probably. But can you imagine if he would have came back as a vampire?
Yeah.
He'd be a little upset, wouldn't he?
I think so.
I don't know if you'd want that guy to be your enemy now.
Nope.
So maybe they didn't think it through.
Obviously.
The police said that the young man was killed after being fooled into taking part of an initiation ceremony to become part of a satanic cult called the Sons of Baphomet One.
Ooh, nasty.
Yeah, the Sons of Baphomet One. But instead, he was tortured after having his hands tied behind his back, after one of the alleged killers persuaded the others that their victim should be sacrificed so he could return to life as a vampire.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
There was 2 men and 1 woman. A woman. They were later arrested in connection with the killing. And they admitted they belonged to the Sons of Baphomet One cult. The Mexican drug cartels reportedly prayed to Santa Muerte for protection from the police and from death. They asked the skeletal saint to watch over their shipments of drugs and offer up human sacrifices to her. So Father Fortea linked the rise of satanic cults to secularism.
Wow.
Yes. And that's what's going on to Mexico. So, unless you want that in your backyard, we got to build a wall.
That's right.
And we got to make Satan pay for that wall. Okay? It's going to be great. Because what they're doing there in Mexico with the vampire cult is disastrous. It's disastrous.
Well, one of the things that Father Fortea said is that the more a society abandons the ways of God, the more cases of Satanism, which is very true. And then the more a nation is Christian, the fewer the cases of devil worship.
Yeah. He's actually said some pretty good stuff, actually. Yeah. He's not a total dum-dum. Been doing this a long time. But, I mean, at least I'll give him this. He's seeing the evil. He's seeing the, what's behind it.
Exactly.
Okay, moving on from crazy Mexicans in Mexico, how about those crazy Chinese?
Yes.
Wow, this is from Natural News. It's the world's top news source on natural health. Did you know that?
Scary, because...
Yeah, it's a top news source. Yeah, baby. Gene editing with no boundaries now is aggressively pursued by China. Plants, animals, even soldiers to all become genetically modified organisms.
Yeah, see? That weapons of warfare.
Yeah. They're getting crazy over there.
Yep.
Crazy. But American corporations are also racing against the Chinese companies.
Yep.
To develop technology that would allow them to genetically modify everything on the planet. Everything.
Including humans.
Yes. This, I think, if you want to talk about the demise of our species, this is really a big component in that.
Oh,
if this thing, it will take off. They will get legislation. They will be able to do this stuff here eventually.
They're already doing it.
They are. They really are.
You know what I mean? They couldn't have gotten this far.
Yeah.
Without, doing it.
Because I saw a GMO human. I saw a genetically modified guy at Walmart the other day.
You see?
And I saw his face. I go, oh, that guy's GMO.
That's right.
He had a round head, and there's like his eyes, like instead of being like an inch and a half apart. They were like 6 inches apart, almost like a fish. Yeah. I said, man, what happened to you? Are you GNO? And he says, no, man, I'm from Beaver Dam, Arizona. Oh, yeah. Then he pulled a gun on me.
Oh.
And I ran. Bloomberg News reports that Chinese firms are pouring no small amount of resources into building expertise on genomics. Genomics, Ms. Kapow. Mm-hmm. That's a fun word to say.
Yes, genomics.
Genomics. Also, the Chinese government is throwing money and resources at another tool.
The CRISPR.
The one you mentioned. We talked about this before. Mm-hmm. What is CRISPR, Ms. Kapow?
It's a controversial genome editing program.
While encouraging its researchers and scientists to advance the technology, China is putting money into CRISPR. What CRISPR does, it takes DNA, and it actually, like a pair of scissors, and it's very economical apparently. Mm-hmm. They can cut out the bad part or any part of the DNA they want, and then edit it and rebuild it. It's incredible technology. Mm-hmm. I guess this used to be very laborious and very expensive to do. And now with CRISPR, they can just kind of throw it in the microwave and you got a modified organism.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it's always for your benefit, right? It's always for your best. I mean, that's why we have Monsanto making modified corn. It's always for your benefit.
Of course.
The pharmaceutical companies only care about you and your healing, right?
That's right.
Well, Chinese scientists claim to be the first to use CRISPR to make wheat resistant to a common fungal disease. And if that isn't good enough for you, they used it to make dogs more muscular and to make pigs leaner.
Yep.
Because that's what you need, a more muscular dog.
Mm-hmm.
So
and
go get
pigs.
And a leaner pig.
Well, you can eat a pig and you can eat bacon all you want and you don't get the fat.
Yeah. Lean pig bacon.
God only knows what else you'll get, though. That's worse.
Oh, yeah. It's formerly known as CRISPR-Cas9. The genetic editing tool, like I said, works like low-cost but highly precise molecular scissors. It cuts out undesirable or unwanted portions of DNA, replacing it with desired ones. You cannot tell me this is not playing God. I mean, this is crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm. And that it will have negative repercussions.
Yes, because we're far from God.
Exactly.
Far from having wisdom. What's amazing about this is when we first started talking about stories like this, it was stuff that they were experimenting with and trying to get legislation for. Now it's they're doing this. There's a race going on between our two countries.
That's right.
What's holding America back is this legislation that won't let us mess with human embryos.
Yeah,
we got to get rid of that so these corporations can move on.
Move on.
Wow. Okay, so the CRISPR system has essentially revolutionized what used to be a very time-consuming and expensive process, and wasn't accurate. But now these scientists are falling all over themselves.
Of course.
To exploit and advance the technology, Ms. Kapow, for a range of uses and purpose, always for the good of mankind. Right?
Yeah.
But some of these things are not likely to be ethical or smart.
Nope.
Okay, so in China, they already started raising millions of dollars.
Of course.
And in U.S., the companies are raising millions of dollars.
Of course.
Right? The race is on. The U.S. and China are first and second CRISPR research countries. They said that both countries have much strength in this area. That was said by Paul Knopfler. He's an associate professor of cell biology and something else at the University of California, Davis, blah, 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 blah. But Knopfler recently published a book called GMO Sapiens, which put forth the notion that gene editing and modification technology could be used to alter humans.
Of course.
There it is.
Yeah. Which was their goal in the first place. It's been the goal since Genesis 1:1 or Genesis 4.
Did God say don't eat the fruit? Yeah, that's how a serpent talks. Did God say don't eat the fruit? Oh my God! You're gonna die. You're gonna die.
That's right.
Open your eyes. It's the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's so disgusting about his little fiefdom. It's annoying.
Yeah.
What an annoying serpent.
Yes.
Okay. Now, the U.S. currently gets the edge in high-profile papers because they're doing a lot of, stuff. Boston Consulting Group estimated that U.S. companies entering the gene editing field have amassed some $1 billion in investment since 2013.
Wow.
That tells you it's going fast.
Yep.
These companies include Editas Medicine, Inc., Poisiata Therapeutics, Inc., and Intellia Therapeutics, Inc., all of which are researching CRISPR to address various health disorders. All right. Big Pharma sees CRISPR as a potential impactful tool with hopes that it can eventually help create therapies for conditions ranging from cancer to blood disease. Right?
And oops, all that money.
Yep. Now here...
It's going to cost all of us.
Yeah. Here is exactly what they want to do. The Chinese team at Sun Yat-sen University in Guangzhou last year became the first to report CRISPR work in human embryos. We talked about this.
Yes.
They used real human embryos.
In order to edit the genes.
Yes. That caused blood disorder. Mm-hmm. So they used it to do that. And it was partly funded by 2 government-run organizations. So, internationally, the research caused some angst, even though the Chinese scientists said that they only use non-viable human embryos. In other words, a human couldn't come out of this embryo.
Sure.
But they did. In China, however, there could be interest in using CRISPR to modify humans. You think?
Mm-hmm.
Especially those who belong to the state security apparatus. Now, here's your Bourne supremacy. Here's your Jason Bourne. One Chinese science team that snipped DNA which boosted muscle growth in dogs, allowing them to jump higher, run faster, and be stronger, is eyeing using CRISPR technology which could potentially benefit the police and military in future if applied to canine breeds commonly used by law enforcement agencies. From there, it's just one short step to altering human DNA for stronger, faster soldiers and popo.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
They didn't put down... Oh, yeah, they did. I was going to say they didn't put soldiers down there, but they did.
They put soldiers down there.
They did.
They put soldiers.
They put soldiers down.
So can you imagine you're going to have the Jason Bourne, the modified human, not just at Walmart, but coming at you. And then you got the robots to worry about.
It's going to be crazy.
We're all going to be living in caves. We're all going to be living in caves fighting the robots. Frito-Lay chips.
This makes me mad because I like chips.
I like chips too, and it was their sun chips. Their sun chips that are supposed to be organic and healthy.
Supposed to be healthy for you. Mm-hmm.
These things, Frito-Lay chips, are filled with Monsanto herbicide linked to hormone disruption, reproductive damage, and kidney failure. This is horrifying.
But the thing is that's not in the chips.
No.
It's all the products.
Yeah. Yeah, all this processed food.
Mm-hmm.
This just happens to be one study on this.
Mm-hmm.
It's everywhere.
And it could very well be in our meat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially when you're eating a CRISPR cow.
Mm-hmm.
The Texas-based Frito-Lay Corporation, whose parent company is PepsiCo. All right, folks, remember that. Frito-Lay, PepsiCo, no go.
Mm-mm.
It's been caught selling deadly processed food products that contain both genetically modified pesticide-producing corn and Monsanto's Roundup herbicide. Mm-hmm. Both! It has both! Which is scientifically linked to causing hormone disruption, reproductive damage, digestive orders, and much more. Mm-hmm. Delicious. These are recent tests conducted on Frito-Lay's Sun Chips. It revealed the presence of GM BT corn, which comprised 100% of the corn used in the product. So this was it. That's all they used. BT corn, as a reminder, as you'll probably recall, Ms. Kapow, creates its own insecticide inside every cell of the plant.
That's right.
It can't be washed off. And guess what? It's regulated by the Environmental Protection Agency.
EPA.
Which makes BT corn, it isn't food.
Mm-mm.
If it's regulated by the EPA, it isn't food.
No.
Oh, my Lord. Feeding studies on mammals have found that BT corn causes immune system disturbances, blood biochemistry disturbances, male reproductive organ damage. Oh, ouch. Disturbances in the functioning of the digestive system and signs of organ toxicity. Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Proteins from BT corn, which supposedly break down in the digestive tract, have also been found circulating in the blood of both pregnant and non-pregnant women.
Because you feed your babies what you eat.
Junk, yeah.
And that's what I mean about animals too, like cows and pigs and whatnot, because they're eating the corn-based products as well. And
then you eat that.
And there you have it.
So you get you don't only get the hormones and the steroids and all that junk. You're getting all the modified corn stuff. Mm-hmm. Dude, you're just screwed on this planet. Mm-hmm. Man. Okay. They did a test on all this, so this is not just tinfoil hat stuff. They did a quantitative PCR test. It verified by DNA analysis that 100% of the corn in the Sun Chips was GMO. 100%. Containing DNA sequences known to be present in insecticide-producing BT and Roundup-ready corn. Mm-hmm. The test also documented the presence of glyphosate. That's the Roundup stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. It detected that in the Sun Chips at a level of 0.14 per millimeter or something like that. Or, 0.14 milligrams.
Yeah. And see, the glyphosate, what it is it actually contributes to mineral deficiency. So in other words, this glyphosate actually binds to minerals and removes minerals. So in your body, you have calcium, magnesium, manganese, copper, and zinc. Those are all essential minerals for your body. Mm-hmm. But when you digest this stuff, and this glyphosate or whatever, it binds to those minerals in your body and washes them out. So that's why you have mineral deficiencies, which contribute to your immune system, the immune system going down.
You go sick.
Mm-hmm. And that's why a lot of these children are so sick.
Wow. In fact, we had the guy who trains us in our gym was telling us about how he had to just take a CPR class, and he was saying for obese children.
Yeah. There's an actual special class that he had to take to help children that that need CPR.
Yeah. Because
there's so many overweight children, obese children that they go in cardiac arrest and whatnot.
Wow. And you can see that not just for the consumption of empty calories, but that breaking down of the minerals in your body, and those
they're
things
not getting nutrition.
Yes.
They're not. Their bodies are not being fed.
Yeah, they're starving. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're starving, but they're
and that's why
overweight.
They overeat, because their body is craving nutrients that they can't get, so they just eat more and more, and they just consume too much food.
Yes,
but it's not doing anything for them except making them sick.
Yes,
and that's with adults as well. So
wow. Man.
Yeah, this
thank
is really
you, Frito-Lay and PepsiCo.
Monsanto.
Yeah, Monsanto. And these companies are now using their stuff. Monsanto and these people are evil. Mm-hmm. Evil. The real insidious part about all this is that Sun Chips are marketed as healthy, whole grain snack food.
That's right.
In, quote, low in saturated fat and cholesterol. That's why these stupid labels that go low in fat or no sugar or 0 calories, that's just...
Yeah.
What you got to do is really read it and look at the chemicals. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Nothing's for free.
No.
Aside from the fact that both saturated fat and cholesterol are important nutrients required for health, the insinuation that they aren't is a deception based on pseudoscientific prejudice and ignorance. Mm-hmm. The presentation of Sun Chips as some kind of earth-based food is nothing short of criminal false advertising.
That's right. That's why we're eating insects from now on.
I'm going to go eat some ants. As soon as I get done, I found some red ants in the backyard. I'm going to take a straw and I'm going to eat them like a little anteater until my belly is full of little red ants.
You're going to eat a lot of them. Make sure you chew them, though, because they're getting your intestines going.
Well, they're kind of crunchy. They're kind of crunchy. And I'm going to dip them in chocolate. That's right. This is hardly a shock, this story, Ms. Kapow, considering Frito-Lay's parent company, PepsiCo. They're the ones that like to experiment with stem cells also.
That's right.
From aborted babies. That's a nice company to support.
They're all bad, though.
They're all bad.
They're all bad.
They all bad.
They're all evil.
They all bad. Okay. PepsiCo spent more than $13 million fighting against mandatory GMA labeling.
I remember that was a big thing.
This irks my nerve because when we lived in California, we had on the ballot to label GMO foods.
Right.
And these idiots came with their millions of dollars.
Yep.
Non-Californians, these companies came and totally lobbied against that and took that vote, and it lost.
Yep.
And that just really irks me, you know. Both PepsiCo and Frito-Lay are major purveyors of GMO junk foods, many of which are marketed directly to children and which we now know are loaded with chemical poisons in the form of pesticide and herbicide residues. They spent a lot of money fighting this. They also they do Kellogg's Fruit Loops breakfast cereal, which also contains unbelievably high levels of both GMO and
glyphosate
herbicide, right? PepsiCo, the owner of Frito-Lay, has been one of the biggest financial contributors to the fight against consumers needing to know if they're eating GMO. Pepsi contributed over $8.1 million to defeat citizens' ballot initiatives in California. That's what I was just talking about. They spent $1,620,000 in Washington for the same thing. They spent $1,650,000 in Colorado. They spent $2,350,000 in Oregon and spent an additional $5.6 million on lobbying in 2013 and 2014 against this stuff. So,
it's disgusting.
That's just evil stuff. That is no different than the satanic ritual murder of that kid in Mexico to make him a vampire. It's the same spirit.
It is.
It's the same spirit. Okay. Harvard students debate whether whites should kill themselves due to the privilege. When I read this story, I was like, are you kidding me? There's a video on it also. You can find it on our Facebook page. But I was like, are you serious?
See, the language here is very, very similar to the Black Lives Matter stuff.
This is where they're getting all this nonsense. The Black Panther, you'll see the connection with the Black Panthers, all this liberal stuff, all this progressive stuff, this Marxism stuff. You'll see this in the language. And this is unbelievable. It's unbelievable also because these are just like stupid young people. These two debaters that were doing this are like top-notch debaters.
Yeah.
So they're not. This didn't come off the tuna boat. This was in Cambridge, Massachusetts. White lives do not matter, according to a student debater activist from the University of West Georgia. Miguel Feliciano. Let's see. What nationality is he? Miguel Feliciano. Is he white? Is he... Oh.
Taco Bell.
He's south of the border guy. Miguel Feliciano, along with fellow West Georgia student Demarai Davis. What color is his skin? Demarai Davis. He's black. One dude's Hispanic. He brown man. The other one be a black man. Okay? They reportedly participated in a recent debate with other students at Harvard University. So, I stand corrected. These are not Harvard students, but they're at Harvard University. The guys they're West Georgia students, but they're a team. They're a debating team.
That's right.
The brown and the black guy are a debating team. During an exchange with their opponents, who happen to be white, Feliciano suggested that white people should kill themselves because of their white privilege. Can you believe that? You can see this exchange on YouTube if you want, or go to our Facebook page and look at, and there's the videos up there. All right. Okay. Here's what he said. Feliciano said this: white life is wrong. White life is wrong. Our argument is that we should never affirm white life. White life is based off black subjugation.
See, that's scary.
That is scary. Because
that's really scary.
You don't say something like this unless you really believe it. Mm-hmm. He actually believes that white life doesn't matter. You should never affirm somebody who has white skin because their whole life is based on black subjugation. Mm-hmm. Really? Wow. I mean, has this guy ever seen photos of the Great Depression? Of white people living in their cars and in tents on the street, just looking for jobs and eating potatoes? And has he ever seen those photos?
Obviously not.
Well, I mean, it's unbelievable, the mentality. But this is all demonic. It's all satanic.
Sure it is.
The father of lies lies. Mm-hmm. Now, when a white debater asked Feliciano whether he should commit suicide, Feliciano said, "I don't see why not. It's ethical."
Ethical. Wow.
The white guys, so I should commit suicide? I don't see why not. It's ethical. When the white debater suggested that it might be better to remain alive and fight the social forces that promote white privilege, guess what Feliciano said?
He rejected the notion.
Yeah. He says struggling against the structure means putting yourself on the line, putting your body on the line. Do it. Affirmative suicide. That's cool. It's one little step in the right direction.
Of what? What direction? Eliminating all white people.
Eliminating all white people because their lives don't matter. He actually said affirmative suicide. That's cool. Do it. Put your body on the line. That's incredible. The story says, ironically, the debate topic was supposed to be about renewable energy. They weren't even debating this stuff. It said the black debaters simply chose to point out their opponent's skin color and begin advocating genocide. Wow. They expressly stated that these were their sincere beliefs, not just an argument to win a debate. They actually believe this.
See, what gets me is that whole thing about racial profiling, you know, how the cops can not allowed to racial profile. Mm-hmm. But this is exactly what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
The very thing that they don't want the police to do, they themselves do it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. It's they can do it, but you're racist if you do it. If you said that, you'd be racist. But isn't that's what's so annoying about these satanic brain damaged idiots, because they're brain damaged, and they're damaged in the spirit, and they're damaged in their thinking. See, the Bible says God is not the author of confusion, but he is the author of power and peace. And guess what? A sound mind. You know what that means, a sound mind? It means someone who can think critically, who has critical thinking. They're sound in their mental processes. These kids are anything but sound mind. That means they can't be of God. That means if they're not of God, they're from Satan. They're Satanist. Yep. They're Luciferian. Unless they repent and give their hearts to God, they have no chance in an eternal kingdom. Yes, along with their father's kingdom, his little fiefdom here. That's why we're trying to warn people. Yep. But check this out. Feliciano and Davis are not some anonymous student crackpots posing as serious debaters. You would think they were. They form a respected two-person debate team that took second place at the 2013 Cross-Examination Debate Association Nationals. That's a big word.
It is.
Second place in 2013. Feliciano, the guy who wants white people to kill themselves, also acts as an instructor at the Eddie Conway. Remember that name, because Eddie Conway is somebody in history. He's an instructor at the Eddie Conway Liberation Institute. Doesn't that sound great? Eddie Conway Liberation Institute. He's an annual debate camp, or that's an annual debate camp at Copen State University that reportedly instructs high school students on debate strategy and, guess what? Radical thought.
See, That's scary because they're taking it to the kids, young people.
Now, who is Eddie Conway? What did he do in life to deserve a Liberation Institute, a debate camp at Coppin State University named after him? Who is Eddie Conway?
Eddie Conway is a former Black Panther Party member, and he was convicted and imprisoned for 44 years for his involvement with the 1970 murder of a Baltimore police officer.
Boom, boom. And there you have it. So you want to associate yourself with a thug, murderer, piece of crap human being, a cop killer, and form an institute based on this idiot's name. This is your role model. This is what you want to do. And now you're telling white people to kill themselves.
Yep. Because it's ethical. It's
the right thing to do. My Lord. I have nothing else to say but...
that speaks volumes.
It is. I just did a George Soros. That came out of my Maximus Rectimus. Okay.
Ciao, babies.
Good night.
Please hang up and try again.
These signs will follow those who believe. In my name, they will cast out demons. They will speak with new tongues. They will take up serpents, and if they drink anything deadly, it will by no means hurt them. They will lay hands on the sick, and they will recover.